Alright, guys, welcome back to the S1E07 podcast. I am Rafael, this is Finn,
What's up?
and this is Fernando right here, very close to me for some fucking reason.
What's up?
Yeah, he's
Okay,
pretty.
depressed ass.
Yeah, he's pretty fucking grim right now.
What's your guys' pet peeves?
Hypocrites. Even though we're all one.
No,
Is that it?
I don't think.
Uh
I don't think necessarily everybody's a hypocrite.
what's that thing where like you're angry at someone and then someone's angry at you but they don't tell you directly but they just like
They just keep being angry at you.
no.
They lead you to them. No, they don't lead you.
It's I forgot what it's called.
They do what?
Microaggression? That's not it's sort of like they do stuff to like I don't know what to
They
say.
do stuff to make you.
Aggression.
They try and let you know.
Passive aggression. Yeah, that's what it is. Passive aggression. That's one of my pet peeves. I'm like, just tell me if something's wrong or not.
I think I might go on longer.
What?
I think I might go on longer than
You go on longer?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll start off basic. I'll start off with walking on the sidewalk.
Stay to the right side.
So, here's the ethics of staying on the sidewalk. You stay on the right side. If you're a bike, a scooter, or a skateboard, shift all to the right side. If not, start walking on the grass on the right side so you can give the guys to your left. By the way, think of it as driving, people. If you start walking on the left side of the sidewalk, I will hit you on purpose and cut off your ankles with my longboard. So, stay on your side of the sidewalk.
I can't even laugh because I would do the same thing.
Yeah. My pet peeve is people being...
That wasn't your pet peeve. The sidewalk thing?
No, that was...
Okay.
It was a basic one.
Okay. Like, just
We're
He's gonna escalate
just
to the top
introduction?
one.
The introduction?
He's gonna escalate.
The next one is
The
stop
exposition.
signs. I'll get to walking stop signs in a second, but stop signs, people are trying to be too nice at stop signs, so they get mad when people wait to let them go because it's their turn, because people don't understand how stop signs work. So that pisses me off. That's
So you're angry at stupid drivers.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Oh, there's another one for me. Fuck.
People...
Y'all are matching made in heaven, aren't you?
No, homo.
Hey, want to get a one-bedroom apartment?
No, Jesus Christ. No. Jesus.
$200 a month. Just saying.
He's like, hey, bro, we save money.
Two times in the month. Like shit. Whenever it's like we don't even have to get AC. Just cuddle up to each other, bro. All right, enough of that. Go ahead, Finn.
I'm taking back my shorts.
Wait, what?
Alright. Next one is one we're kind of guilty of. Is taking up. This is another sidewalk one. Groups of people on the sidewalk who don't realize that they still have to move and they don't own the whole fucking sidewalk. Like if people are coming from either the opposite direction or behind you on a fast
Do we
moving-
do that? Do we do that?
we're good at it because we move.
Right.
But most people they're in this, even if it's just two people.
I try to be like, still like, all right, do I move or are they gonna move? So like,
The worst part is when it's two people. The group is two, and they still
So pair.
take up the whole sidewalk and think that they're better than everyone else and won't move. So I'm having to bail on my board, have it go in the ditch, and I have to go pick it up because these two females walking down the street thought they were too good to move out of the way.
Did I hear that?
bitches be tripping.
They will trip once I hit them in the ankle with my longboard.
I don't empty that shit out.
All right, Finn. Now give us your other 20 pet peeves.
This one, people when you're having lunch with some, honestly, phones nowadays.
I'm
are big.
sorry.
This isn't just you. This is to a lot of people. Like I'm trying to make acquaintances, at least maybe friendships in some of my classes, but it's hard to talk to people when they're on my phones.
No way.
both of you right now.
Right when you mentioned that, I just got on my phone. I was
I
like,
think Rafa did it on purpose.
I did. I was like, no way. Because that's like the general line that you hear when you're talking to somebody and they're not paying attention.
Oh,
no
yeah.
way.
I wish
that's crazy, bro.
I wish we had smart flip phones. We just kept the flip phone idea, kept it to like a keypad, and just made it like smart. Like just you can tell position, you can get directions. That's it. There's no social media to know anything. Social media has some few pet peeves on, but I'll get to those later.
You have social media.
What?
You have social media.
I hate it.
I found out the title for this episode, Rafa and Finn's Connection.
Can I be honest? Oh fuck! This is gonna sound more gay. I don't like social media either. I would delete it, but all my friends are on there.
Yeah,
and it's
if
good
I
to make
didn't-
connections, like for business or job opportunities.
If I didn't have
I fucking love
Friends?
Twitter. It's like I fucking love Twitter. I'm sorry.
Honestly, I was thinking about deleting my Twitter this past week just because it's so I don't use it ever.
You'll think that just if you do delete it.
The only thing it's good for is like the trending part. That's one.
Oh, I just look at the
It's not
memes.
even
The memes
good
are
for
fucking hilarious.
This is gonna be another pet peeve. Half all Twitter is depressing relationship stuff. Like,
That's
why
true.
is this all over my timeline?
I thought it was more like horny people.
That
It's also horny people.
horny sex.
So
Depression,
let's just
suicidal,
say.
and the occasional good meme or two.
the memes.
Oh yeah, bitching too. A lot of people bitch
A lot
on
of
there.
bitching. It's
Cool.
a site for complaining.
Yeah,
Or
That's
ranting.
all it is.
That's
Really
just
is.
that's basically it. Just Twitter's for rants.
Instagram, I don't mind too much. I still
Maybe
don't.
if it was like close friends.
If you have good photos, then I'll look at it. If you don't, then
Yeah.
I won't bother.
I'll say like close friends if they do stuff with their life.
Like the only reason why I still have it is just because I have like 100 people following me, which is the most I have on fucking anything. I don't know how anyone follows me on that.
Here.
If I were to just have my friends on my Instagram, I'd probably just have like 12 people following me.
Honestly, next year I just might.
I may start
using-
brand new because like low key Instagram. I don't go on Instagram anymore.
I don't hate technology because technology is really nice, but when you're out and about, oh here's another one about the sidewalk. A lot of them are about the sidewalk. When you're staring, I'm fine with listening to music. One earbud though, don't have two, otherwise you can't hear what's going on around you. And someone,
I usually have it on low volume, and so I could just listen.
Even then, if it noise cancels,
Really?
like maybe not the AirPods or
AirPods are good.
because they don't cancel
Oh, you
out
don't have
noise.
AirPods.
But
I ain't bougie.
if you can't hear what's going on around you, someone like me is going to be going down that hill. This is a true story. Going down that hill towards west too fast and say, hey, on your left. You don't realize it. And then I bail into you.
Oh no, I know when people are. I have good hearing, so whenever
Well,
like
this isn't for you. This is for people.
That's what everybody else thinks.
everybody else, fucking yeah.
And then also everyone who stares on their phone as they're walking.
I don't walk with my phone.
I
in my
don't do
hand.
that.
This isn't about you then. People who don't understand that they're not the most important person in the world. So can you shut your music up when I'm trying to sleep? Pet peeve.
Yeah.
If I can sum it up, my pet peeve is humanity.
Okay. All right, Thanos. Let's go with Thanos.
Oh.
Yes, I was referring to you.
Okay. Fuck you
I mean,
too.
you want me to continue?
Do you have more that you would like to get off your chest?
I mean, I can just go on.
I kind of adding on to what Finn said. People who play their music very loudly. Like in the showers, every time I go in there, I hear somebody playing their music. Is that you?
Yeah, that's me. I blast my music when I'm home alone in the shower.
I usually don't blast music unless it's in my car because it's my fucking car.
Yes.
Another pet peeve of mine is people touch my fucking aux, Fernando. Oh my god.
I don't touch your ox. I don't touch your ox anymore.
Yeah, because I stop you.
He just slaps my head.
I
Honestly.
made you my bitch. That's why.
Fuck you.
I've become
Just unbuckles his seatbelt, brake checks.
Fuck out. Pushes me out the door.
I've become less tolerant through the years. So,
He honestly has.
College has made me less tolerant.
yep. I'm like a ticking time bomb. Another pet peeve of mine. Some guys, 99% of the guys won't agree with me, but usually when I'm jogging on the treadmill, some days there's this girl in the mirror, like putting her ass facing towards the mirror and taking a picture.
I hate those people.
Really?
God. Yeah.
Jesus
I
Christ.
don't like when people take photos at the gym either.
Pretentious.
Go there, work out, leave.
Get results. If you're gonna go to the gym, go for fucking results and not for attention.
Take the pictures in your room. Don't
That's
take
what
them in the
that's what I was gonna
bathroom.
do because
Just go fuck
I would
yourself.
back in junior year, I would always like go to the bathroom, to a single bathroom, and I would just use the mirror there because I wanted to see results if I had any. And now I just use the room here in the mirror in the room. Blah.
Nah, I don't like taking photos like that.
I try to see what I need to do more of. That's how I try to look at it. But yeah, I know what you mean. Pretentious assholes.
It really pisses me off. And even when the guys are like in the mirror going like this, just flexing their biceps. Take a photo like that.
Take the photo only the waist up.
I'm trying to think, what's another pet peeve of mine? Because I just have so many. Another pet peeve of mine, this usually happens like with a variety of people. It's whenever we're like at the dinner table or we're in the couch in the living room trying to make conversation. It's like whenever there's just two people like contributing to the conversation instead of everybody else in the room because they're on their phone. It kind of pisses me off a little bit because sometimes these are the people that gave me shit when I was younger for using my technology a lot. So I'm not gonna lie, I was guilty of it when I was in middle school. I'll play on my DS when I was going to eat. People were like, well, you should talk more. And now I start talking more, and now they're on their fucking technology. It's like, I add hypocrites into that because that's pretty much what they are when they say that kind of stuff to me. Wait, everything ticks me off. What else?
I just had one in my head, but it's gone now. I hate pretentious people.
Can I say something that's kind of weird? Like, me and Finn look at each other at like the exact same times a lot. I think it's because we have the same mentality about some stuff.
I think it is too.
It's like so weird.
I was in this week's newspaper, if you read it. It was actually like
Fuck no, I didn't read it.
it was actually like a really good topic, but they put it at the back of the newspaper. Once I tell you the topic, you'll probably understand why. It's is school shootings becoming the norm nowadays?
Because what happened at A&M? There's something that happened at A&M
No,
last week.
it was in a town near A&M. There was a shooting.
Oh, wasn't it during the
It
game?
was
There was a fire there.
it was an A&M commerce meeting,
Oh, right.
homeschool commerce meeting,
That's what it was.
and then some guy killed 2 people and I think injured 10 or 12.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, the article was talking about like school shootings happen like every fucking day, or at least multiple times a week. It's fucking ridiculous.
It really is. I mean, oh fuck.
I mean, people are capitalizing
really-
after.
I
That's
could-
when you think. That's when you know it's starting to become something
I could
bad.
talk about this all day, but it's a little too dark.
Have you? It is dark. It is pretty dark.
Like I would say, like,
It's Halloween, so
I would say, why would y'all think that there's like more school? Why do you think there's more people in the world that would have the idea to even shoot up the school? You think it's because of negligence at home, maybe abuse, or the fact that people
I think
kind of don't pay attention to them? They kind of want attention.
I think the fact that like with each generation, especially lately, it's not that no one can take a joke. It's just it's not on that bias because some people just like things go too far. It's just everyone is in a good way and a bad way. This is the bad way. Is like takes offense to nearly everything.
To what?
Takes like offense to everything.
that's everyone. Nowadays, everyone.
Yeah, nowadays.
Everyone's
like you go back a few
sensitive.
decades.
Okay.
Not
fucking
really.
boomer.
You think it's maybe-
For fuck's sake.
No, but yeah, I know what you're saying. Our generation is like brought up to like we're not.
It's kind of like how. Wow, that voice crack.
Yeah, I heard that. I was like, oh god.
It's probably because I'm still sick, a little bit, and then it's probably because, like our generation, we joke about suicide every fucking day.
We honestly do.
You go to a job, and if it's like your supervisor is like 40 to 60, and they hear you crack those jokes to your coworkers, like all your coworkers. I worked in retail for, God, my voice. I worked in retail for 3 years. During those 3 years, there was not a day that we cracked suicide jokes. It just happens in this generation when you work with teenagers. And then if you hear like if a 40-year-old or like 60-year-old hears it, they don't know that's kind of like the norm
Nowadays.
of humor?
nowadays.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the norm of meta dark humor. Everyone talks about it, so it's not that dark.
I'm guessing the reason why it's like that is because like since we see like the world's about to end, we think like the world's about to end because
we act like it's gonna immediately end, and all these people before us have ruined it for us.
No,
I mean, do you think they kind of have or
no?
Well, they kind of have, but like, keep saying that, and think of ways to move forward.
Yes.
stop blaming others and just keep going?
Another pet peeve out of the
Actually,
list.
do something.
Another pet peeve out of the list is people who keep focusing on their past and don't suck it up and fucking go forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like they're what's entitled.
Entitled and egos.
Like, do you think our generation is entitled?
Oh, extremely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially now with the technology that's coming out.
It's
new to us. It's new to everyone.
There's kind of a gap though. Like really young people are entitled, and kind of like a little bit later the millennials. They kind of understand how everything goes.
I think the millennials are still kind of entitled.
Yeah, millennials are kind of more understanding, and then you get to like old people who are like entitled to fucking everything. At least when they go up to the customer service desk, they ask them if they're fucking free.
Because back then, in their time,
it's just because they're old,
right?
Do you have ice boxes?
Which yes, you've lived things for fucking up the planet, but you still need to follow the same rules that everyone else does.
Because here's it may not apply to it, but okay, so it was last week. Do y'all know who Martin Scorsese is?
No.
Okay, so Martin Scorsese is a famous.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Do you really want to get into this?
Yeah, I'm getting into this.
Okay, I'm gonna have to be on the opposing side
Why?
because I actually agree with him.
You really think Marvel movies are kind of or shit?
No, he's not saying they're shit. He's saying they're not cinema. He's saying that Marvel movies do not have that emotional connection to somebody. Yes, you will be amazed. Yes, you will be like, oh man, this is fucking incredible. This is
a story from both your
Okay,
sides.
so
Not
cool.
pick a side.
Here, I'll start it off. So, 2 weeks ago, Martin Scorsese, he's a famous
and Francis Ford Coppola.
Coppola. Yeah, Coppola.
He's the director of the Godfather trilogy.
So,
And,
Scorsese directed Wolf of Wall Street,
I think you'll like it.
Taxi Driver, and Goodfellas, and there's another one.
The Irishman.
That's the new one. I think that one's gonna be pretty cool. Yeah. But there's another one I'm trying to remember.
Martin Scorsese.
The Prince of Comedy, the Prince of Comedy.
I got you.
And then Coppola,
King of Comedy.
Yeah, King of Comedy. And then Coppola directed Godfather and mostly all those things.
Apocalypse Now.
So, what Martin Scorsese called cinema, the current cinema, so like the Avengers, blockbusters, anything that he said that it's not cinema.
Yes.
And I actually don't think that.
The Departed. There you go.
Departed, yeah.
And The Wolf of Wall Street.
That's what I said.
I don't think definitely Marvel isn't like real cinema. I still think there's real cinema, but
He
like
said MCU, not Marvel.
That's basically Marvel.
No, it's not. Marvel Cinematic Universe does not own all the rights to every Marvel comic book.
Yeah, but still,
MCU and Marvel are different.
he's referring to any like superhero movie.
No, he said
because he called it entertainment. He called it entertainment like as a.
He said MCU. That's
back up a little bit from the mic.
Oh, he said like it's he said the MCU, but he's referring to all like the blockbuster movies that are like.
See, you're interpreting that.
No,
that's not what he actually said. He said MCU.
Well, if we're gonna go off of that, then he's just calling the MCU not cinema. But if we're gonna go off of that, then he said that the MCU isn't cinema, and because you can't have a connection to it as deeply as his movies did or past generations cinema had. But here's the thing that like he's so here. Okay, so everything goes in and everything goes out. That's how everything works.
Sorry,
okay, so Martin Scorsese called the MCU as not cinema, and where I was going from this is that everything has an in and an out, so everything goes in and then everything goes out of popularity. There's this someone said it as they're being scared as not okay. So I'll bring it in like this. I'll try to make it more understanding. As back in the 40s and 50s, the big thing was the Western movies, and that was the big thing. And then Scorsese came in, and then the 80s and the 90s, he brought in gangster, mafia, and all that, all those kind of movies, and he brought that in as a new thing, and everyone hated it. The critics hated it. The old directors hated it, and that's basically happening again. Everything's a cycle. So he's criticizing over something he's scared of being replaced as. And I'm not necessarily that he's scared. His movies are really good. I'm not saying that they're bad. I love his movies. But
So he's saying the cinema, like MCU and the superhero movies and like the lighthearted movies, are gonna end up replacing the darker movies of the past.
yes, everything's getting replaced. Everything's gonna be replaced.
Yeah, wait till your turn.
Yeah, because everything's gonna be replaced.
You be the moderator.
That's just how it is. Not that many people are seeing. Of course, there's Sundance, and there's other movie nominations or movie movie circles, which is like where you see special viewings of the movie. But like, it's non-popularity now as it was back then. He's basically he's scared of going out from that, as the past directors before him were scared of being pushed out of cinema. I'm not saying he's scared, but he's worried of how his movies are being handled now.
He's a man of the past.
He's a man of the past. Everything's going to go to the future, and you can't stop that. And he said that there's no connection towards the characters, and it's gonna be biased for me because honestly, I love the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I love it. I love it. There may be some movies where I don't enjoy as quite as others.
Isn't about your love for the movies.
Exactly. But but also as a viewer, I'm saying as a viewer
Yeah,
too.
if you're gonna say that too, I like the MCU too.
Exactly.
I wasn't really into it, but you kind of got me into it. Thanks a lot.
Yes, but I'm not saying as a biased debater. I'm saying as a viewer of the movies that you feel connected to them, even though they're played out as different phases, and the MCU has the phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and phase 4. I'm not saying it that you're gonna have a deep connection to them, but you're still gonna have a connection because honestly, like the internet broke whenever Infinity War came out, and the ending. So like, you know what the ending is, right? Mm-hmm. And he's saying that there's no connection between the fans and the movie, but in reality, the internet broke. Like there were memes, there were people actually reacting to the movie, and like how much joy people had in the movie from that movie or from Endgame, and like that's a connection right there. That's a connection that people love these movies, and that there's actually cinema going on. They may not have much. They may not have as much depth, but they do have a connection, and that connection is something that that those directors don't get it. Okay, as I was saying, the internet, like the fans on the internet, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, they were all like legit surprised and like surprised and just they were just like excited from the movies. And I also want to point out, like, there isn't, as like I said it before, there isn't as much depth as Scorsese's movies, but there is depth to it as to where you'll be surprised as what happens, and then like you'll see what's really going on in the entire movie. So I'm gonna take an example as Thanos. So you know how the Avengers are the
Finn's idol.
Thanos. So the Thanos is
idol. We're the same person.
You just need the grimmest chin.
I got you. I got a blade right here.
Fuck. No, stop that. But okay, so Thanos, they added like so much character into him where they actually made Avengers Infinity War his movie. Like even though that has the title Avengers and the Avengers title in it, and people think that it's their move, it's the Avengers movie, but it's really Thanos' movie because we see him as
No, it's still Avengers movie. It's just the protagonist.
the protagonist is
and the story
Thanos,
Is Thanos.
but it's his movie though because
Antagonist.
no
He's an antagonist.
no he's the protagonist of that movie because it's his movie.
Isn't protagonist when like kind of the hero?
It's
figure
from
of-
his
No, it's
perspective.
Protagonist. Protagonist is the hero of the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Antagonist
It doesn't necessarily have to be the
That's
hero
what
of the
I'm saying.
story.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't. Well, in his view, he thinks he's the hero.
The protagonist is the main character.
I thought.
No, because the
There's
protagonist
and there's the antagonist, which is kind of like
antagonist is the
Person
the opposing
the main
side,
character.
and but they have the movie focused on Thanos.
He's my protagonist.
He really emphasized the
maybe it's a matter of
mind.
perception.
It's that's exactly why the perception was on Thanos. His journey of getting the Infinity Stones,
No.
and they had it.
It kind of had different viewpoints.
Yeah, but
On
that's
the
because
movie.
of the heroes. We see Thanos acquiring all these things, going on his going this journey. I'm sorry, I'm just
Protagonist.
yeah, because it's, even though it has the Avengers name and it's Thanos was the protagonist of the story. He was the main focus of it throughout because they made it throughout the entire 20.
Well, isn't it
18?
possible that
Why are we
there,
even talking about this? We're talking about the fucking
isn't it
dude.
possible
Exactly, that's what I'm
that-
explaining. Yeah, I have to
It's
possible there are
explain it.
multiple protagonists? Meanwhile, Thanos is the antagonist because he's the opposing of all the main characters.
But
the
they could-
Avengers,
they
which is
could-
the name of the title.
You could also say as Thanos was the protagonist while the Avengers were the other main characters while opposing
And
him.
why were their names in the movie the title?
Because that's just the name of the movie, the title. That's
And why the fuck would you name it Avengers?
Why-
Infinity War.
would you watch it if it was called Thanos?
Okay.
That,
Let's say the Game of Thrones. What the fuck? The main focus of that story is who gets on the Iron Throne.
exactly. It has multiple main characters.
Hold the fuck on. I'm gonna bring this back on track.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, so basically,
Talk the point. Don't talk your
they
fandom.
they did get a connection between you and Thanos, the viewer and Thanos. So that's what I was trying to get. They had a connection between him and Thanos, which he was the bad guy. He was, in our view, the bad guy, but in the movie, he was the protagonist. Say it for me. Protagonist. Okay, yeah, protagonist. He was the protagonist of the movie. I can't fucking say it, but that's what I was trying to do. So they build connections. The MCU movies build connections because
Take a shot every time Fernando says build connections.
I only said it like 6 times, so you'd be drunk right now.
You said it more than six.
Really?
You said it a lot.
Okay, but yeah, that's basically it. That's they do it so they do it well.
You can't say that's basically it and keep talking.
They do it well enough to where you understand the characters and you want to see them more and where you want them to succeed. Go ahead, Rafa.
Is that it? Okay, so going off on what you said about his kind of directing
Talk a little
style.
bit louder or get closer.
So going on to what you said earlier about Martin Scorsese being insecure about being pushed out of the movie business and comparing it to Western type movies. I wouldn't say that's necessarily why he's criticizing the MCU.
I didn't say that was
Be-
necessarily why. Oh, right.
That's what you said. Like you said, Western movies back in the 50s, like not as popular today as they were back then.
Mm-hmm.
You have to keep in mind back then. I don't want to get too political, but it's like it was pretty much. It was different times, more racial, it's more racially segregated, more misogynistic. I won't get into that. And then you have to keep in mind, the movies he brought, they actually connected to the real world. They actually had themes that a person could learn from. They actually showed what it's like for people living hard lives, in the ghetto, in the crime life. Another thing that kind of caught my interest about what you said is that Twitter blowout on Infinity War. You have to keep in mind, Twitter is not the entire world, because there are other people
I
in
did
the world.
mention Instagram and then Facebook.
I only heard Twitter.
I only remember mainly Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did mention Facebook and them, but okay, go on.
And just because maybe 2 million at most people tweeted about it doesn't mean that everybody necessarily thought it was a good movie.
I didn't say it was a good movie. I just said the reactions.
Okay, well, I guess I'll get into why I don't think MCU is necessarily cinema. Going back to what I was saying, maybe you do build a connection with the characters, but not in the way to where you can necessarily relate to them or sympathize for them in a way. Like, what are you going to learn from Iron Man? Like, what's one major theme that you got from his character?
Do you want me to answer that right now?
Yeah, answer it.
Okay. So,
Don't take 20 minutes though.
okay, first movie. Don't waste your life on something that will harm other people. Exactly. Don't do what you think is correct. That you learned that from the first movie whenever you got out from the cave.
Maybe I went through this argument the wrong way. I think he was referring to cinema as something that's supposed to have a tragic moment.
Do you want me to start butting in on this?
Okay,
Yeah,
go ahead.
Okay. So, you kind of both have the right point. Iron Man, yes, it does teach you be your own self. I guess I don't remember the movie that well. The problem is, I don't know his guy's name, Martin
Scorsese.
But with his movies, you gotta think of like the Joker movie, which is the closest modern thing we have to his movies because it's based off of his movies.
Taxi Driver, right?
It's not just like a classic theme.
I actually think it
Be
will be
yourself. Don't let others convince you to be someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas you look at like, I haven't seen Taxi Driver, but I'm basing it off of the Joker movie. I'll probably watch it later. But the Joker movie tackled poverty. It tackled mental illness. It tackles dark. Really needed to talk about themes.
Yeah,
and
Whereas
especially in this age.
it doesn't help that it's a superhero movie. You don't want to get into that because your main audience is mainly young people or people who are into comics.
Yeah.
I will say, the MCU is limited by what it can do.
Especially with the characters it has.
Is it cinema?
Do you want water? You sure you don't want water?
I just haven't taken my medicine in a little while. So, the MCU is limited. It's still cinema. However, no, it's a movie. I will say this. It's a movie, but it's not like cinema.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you can go to it and once you leave the film, you will start thinking about the themes of the movie.
Right.
Like if once you leave the Iron Man film, you don't think, oh yeah, I'm gonna get a better version
Right,
of something.
right,
I'm
right.
not gonna you don't go to a Marvel movie to think about that. You leave thinking, oh yeah, there's like lots of explosions. Hey, you know when he shot that laser beam? Yeah, I do. That was a good scene.
Right,
and
right.
then you go watch that scene 5 times on YouTube.
Yes.
When we saw the Joker movie, I went out. I watched all the theories about the Joker.
It makes you
movie.
want to look
I
more
did a little
into
bit of
depth.
research about poverty and all
Right.
that stuff. That is at least good cinema, which I would consider.
You
cinema.
build a better, not a necessarily
It
better
leaves you
connection, but you
thinking
stronger.
about the themes of the movie rather than
Yeah.
the scenes
Right.
from the movie.
Uh-huh.
That's how I'm gonna explain.
And you build a strong, not like
You don't build a strong connection with the character, but you see them.
the theme. You
It
you don't
tackles a bunch of themes.
no, but like I know what you're saying. So you're saying that it makes you think about the themes, not necessarily the characters. So you're saying
Through the characters
and the theme.
Think about the themes.
so
Yes.
so what you think of cinema is, then again, cinema is just how you
By
perceive.
definition, cinema is a movie.
Exactly. But
So
if we're
it-
talking like
MCU,
that, it's cinema.
no doubt about it.
Exactly.
It's a fucking movie.
But
It's
if you want, it's like what's that thing? Comedy is comedy is subjective. You can say cinema is subjective.
Yeah.
Everyone has different tastes. But like what you're saying is
let's phrase it like this: how good a piece of work is subjective. Whether it's similar or not is not subjective by definition. It is. It's how good it is. How like
how it impacts you
the
on
impact
where you
of
want to
it.
go.
Like, if it has very little impact, it's just cool gun blazing
Right.
Transformers movies.
That's you could
I don't
also
consider
you
that
could argue that about Scorsese's and back in. I mean, of course, he has Shutter Island, which is like it's a psychological thriller. Taxi Driver, another one. Wolf of Wall Street. Wolf of Wall Street was basically a life of a billionaire that got famous from stock and banged a bunch of girls, did crack. Basically how he cheated the stock market. It's more of a comedy, and what would you describe it as, comedy or
comedy? But I think Scorsese is saying that MCU is not cinema because it's kind of out there, like into your life.
it's more grounded.
Like the cinema he uses is more down to earth.
Right, it's
could
grounded.
actually be applicable to any person depending on the path.
But if you look
choosing
deep
in
enough,
life.
anything you could find anything that's applicable in any cinema, even if you just
Okay,
look at
but
it.
We're just talking about is
Exactly.
MCU cinema, and my
His
answer
version of cinema is something that may have
Okay.
already or will happen.
Yeah.
MCU is stuff that will never ever happen.
Yeah, I would.
Or in the
consider
future,
cinema.
maybe. Because then again, it's always
I think it's far fetched, especially when like poverty.
It's stuff to go see for fun.
it's
Well,
entertainment.
His movies is stuff for maybe fun, depending on the movie.
But maybe to learn, maybe
Like
or
not necessarily learn, but like
But to
back,
keep your mind busy
Open.
Okay.
for
So-
longer than the movie
but like back
itself.
back
or,
in
like
like
become aware of something that you're not.
Yeah.
That's serious
Opens
that
up
you-
your mind.
Yes,
Something
exactly.
new.
That's not.
That's
just
what- yeah.
entertain it for
Right,
a little
right.
while.
Yeah.
back like you want to look at it like what's it called? So back whenever he did the mafia movies, which was like Goodfellas, or well, not necessarily.
Goodfellas.
Yeah, Goodfellas.
I think he did Casino.
Quentin Tarantino, he could have said something, but he didn't. He obviously didn't.
I think he would say the same thing too.
I don't think he said he
I
would
think
say
he
the same
would.
thing. I think he would enjoyed it.
Because all of their films are like more down to earth.
Yeah, but that's different because they're grounded.
realistic.
They're realistic. While something's sci-fi or just straight up fantasy, everything has its. Because if he would have said something, he probably would have just referred everything to fantasy as non-cinema.
It's just like when you.
It's just
when-
subjective,
when-
honestly.
When you leave an MCU movie, do you feel like you were like on a roller coaster? Sort of?
Are you asking me as a viewer,
Yes,
as a viewer,
as a
or just
viewer.
me? I was moved, honestly. Yeah.
Okay, can you be specific as to like what moved you in the MCU?
Okay, so the characters especially moved. You want to be better.
I mean like specifically.
Okay,
What
so
moments? I would say when I don't know, Tony Stark snapped the gauntlet. Maybe that may have touched you because he kind of gave us like.
well, no, that's
save the
not.
universe.
That's still not grounded though.
That's
You're
kinda-
asking us
that
to
seemed
like
kinda
where
cliche,
you want to be, where like a grounded scene.
I'm asking you what moved you from these movies. What has impacted you that you still think about this day? That has made you, that like.
Captain America, keep going. He was a war vet.
I'm talking.
He could do this. You could do this all day. I can do this all day. Not necessarily all day, but you got to keep on moving forward. That's which is basically what he's saying. I can keep going. I can keep going.
Okay.
And then he couldn't keep going, so there's injecting him with muscle juice.
Yeah, but still, it's just not him. It's also his word. It's like he wants to keep on fighting forward toward a better place. It's subjective, of course. He
Yeah.
just
because when I watch an MCU movie, I don't feel moved. I don't feel like my mind has been opened to anything. I don't feel like I've experienced like a journey sort of that I will think about for the rest of my life. When I watch Goodfellas, when I watch The Godfather Part 1 and Part 2, and other like down to earth movies, I feel like I learned something from those.
because it's human.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I think that's what he's referring to when he means cinema.
So cinema has to have anything with humans, human connection.
Yes.
So
I don't think it has to be like human connection.
Just
It
connection.
just has
What's
to have
connection?
Connections to the real world.
Yes. So like Iron Man, he has a fucking metal suit, man. He could.
Billionaire.
So here's-
genius, playboy.
Yes,
Philanthropist.
exactly. It's not the same as college student.
But still, you could look at it with Spider-Man,
Which one?
huh?
Which one?
All of them.
How
Sam Raimi.
Tobey Maguire ones were more moving to me.
Exactly.
Because his uncle
That's
died,
still-
and you actually saw the pain that he went through. and
That's
you
the thing,
see
though.
him
They
transition into a hero
you already
to make the world
you already
better place.
expected it to happen. What would you say if it happened a third time?
What?
So they showed it twice.
Back away a
So
little bit,
okay, so
which is really loud.
back. It's been three reboots now. So the first and second reboots, they showed Uncle Ben's death.
Did they show it in the second one?
Yes.
I don't remember.
Have you seen it?
I've seen the first one.
Okay,
The
so
Asian
yeah,
one.
they killed Uncle Ben twice. What would you thought if they killed him again on the third reboot?
So be it. That's the story in the comic.
Exactly. But you wouldn't have the same connection as it was in the first one, would you? The same emotion that you would have had in the first one.
No, I wouldn't.
Exactly,
I
because
feel
you
like
would have
it's
seen it.
different for a superhero movie that everyone knows.
Yes.
Because, like, people complain about having the death of Batman's parents every single Batman movie.
Did they show
When
it?
everyone...
They showed it in Joker, so.
Yeah, a lot of people like grace about that. And then...
I feel like that was one of the better ones.
It was one of the
Like
better
the one
ones,
from
but
Batman.
every single Batman
one from
movie,
Batman
they
and
have,
Superman.
they have to have...
I didn't even watch that one, honestly.
They have to have the parents die and the pearls drop onto the ground. See, with superhero movies, you don't need that thing because everyone already knows about that thing. You need it for like a standalone
You need it for
movie
exposition.
that's completely different.
Which is what Spider-Man was, the Tobey Maguire trilogy.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
back in, like, Spider-Man's all about...
We're talking about MCU here.
Yeah,
That we're
he
not-
is MCU.
The current Spider-Man.
Exactly.
I'm referring to the
I'm
other
not...
Spider-Man.
I was talking about the current one. Because it may not be as grounded as the other ones, but it's just... It's scientific. It's sci-fi. It's sci-fi. Of course, it's not going to be as realistic, but it's still going to have some realistic elements.
Okay.
His trouble with
Okay.
his family, his
Okay.
trouble with his personal
Okay,
life.
I think I have.
You got it?
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Did every character in the MCU have like a certain moment in their life that kind of
A defining moment?
a pivotal moment? I want to say.
Okay.
Well, there's one, and that's how you make a movie. There has to be a pivotal moment.
There always has to be a climax. Or not necessarily a climax, but like...
That necessarily like
where character growth starts to happen.
character development. There you go. Was there much of that in the MCU?
Yes.
I don't really notice much of that. Captain America, before he even got injected with whatever the fuck he got injected with, he still seemed like a decent kind of person with the same morals that he had after.
Because he was raised like that. He could have changed, but he did it.
exactly
With the super
but,
sword.
but there was no character arc with him during the entirety of the MCU,
He
That
just
was-
got the ability to do what he wanted.
and then he just did good. There's no arc.
I will say, I only can think of one right now, but there is a little bit of an arc in Doctor Strange. I will
Cool,
say
he
that.
was a douchebag.
Have you
and-
seen Doctor Strange?
Yeah, he was a douchebag, and then he got paralyzed, whatever, right?
He was a douchebag. He wasn't paralyzed, but his hands.
Yeah,
He was a
he
really good
was very
surgeon,
shaky
but
in
his
he can't-
hands
That
never
That,
stopped shaking. And then he really did not believe any of this fantasy and magic stuff. He caves in. He goes to this lead that he finds to this lady who can maybe help him. That's a little bit of character growth. Still not that much, but it's character growth. It's a pivot.
and then Ant-Man, he was a criminal. Even Ant-Man had character growth. Some character growth.
I know, but even with him, I didn't really feel like a connection with the character.
It's more...
because in cinema you have to have a connection with the character in a way that maybe you wouldn't experience with anybody.
Ant-Man,
Ant-Man's one of the lesser ones, but he still has some...
he doesn't
growth.
really have that much, though.
Because in the first one, he was a criminal. He was a criminal that like broke the law many times. He did the right thing, but he was a criminal.
Yeah, and then he goes and does it again.
Mhm.
That's not growth. He's
That's
doing
that's
the
the
same
that's
thing
the
again.
second time though. After they gave him a second chance to not do it again. And
He
he did.
breaks the rules even later in the movie
Mm-hmm.
too. When he goes and fights Falcon when he wasn't supposed to. No, what was the thing?
Well,
Whenever
that's
he took
just
the
it's
suit-
like a heist. It's a heist movie.
Well, the thing is him breaking rules. You can't just sum it up to him being in
Right.
jail. Because jail, he got in jail because he broke laws. He broke rules. He does that like 4 times.
But he did it for a good cause.
Yeah, that's not character growth. He did it for the good cause for all of them.
I would say that's character growth. It's not necessarily character
No,
growth,
because it
but
doesn't
it's like
change. It's the same. It's the same motive to do everything for his niece and for
his daughter.
his daughter, whatever.
I was like,
Yeah. Maybe another one that could possibly support your argument. What was the name of the antagonist in Black Panther?
No,
Not T'Challa. No, not him. The antagonist, the one who took his spot, who beat him in.
Killmonger.
Yeah,
Is that it? Yeah. I think I had more of a connection with him than T'Challa, just because his father was killed in Oakland, and so that kind of gave him a motive. That's why he went down the road he did.
He was the rightful heir.
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
He wasn't the rightful heir. He was just
his brother. His father was the
brother of the king.
T'Challa's of the king. Yeah.
T'Chaka.
So, if T'Challa was killed in like a battle or something,
have you seen Black Panther?
Yeah.
Then he would.
You gotta look at it again.
He would be the rightful heir if T'Challa was killed.
But okay, Black Panther is a good one. Thank you for that.
But it's not
Doctor Strange.
We don't have to fucking go through all of these.
Yeah.
We can all say it's
subjective.
nowhere near the amount of character. No, it's not subjective. It's nowhere near the amount of character growth as you would see.
No, I meant like cinema's subjective. Just like
kind of.
Okay, go on.
There's still a good and a bad. There's still a deep and a fun to see. Basically, what I think the quote is: there's cinema that's fun for your brain. There's cinema
fun for your eyes.
Brain.
Well, I would say fun for your brain, but fun for your eyes. Because there's also this one
okay,
point. I'll go on your side for the
theater is the production of movies as an art or industry.
That's just the definition. But here, I'll go on your side because they did say, I'm taking this from a YouTube video I saw earlier where they were talking about this. That they said that Marvel movies are just a promotion for the rides at the theme parks, or like for the promotion for toys, and that's the truth. That's honestly
true.
That's the
Marvel
truth.
movies. Every movie is to
It's
make
basically
money.
an advertisement for the toy or for an amusement park, and that's true. I'm not gonna say that it's true, but still, it's cinema towards the people that enjoy it and to the people that like look forward to it as to like pick it out. There's details to the movies that you just gotta pay attention, or you just gotta look at it more into depth that you just won't find just from a viewing.
It depends on how you grade movies. Is how you sum it up. If you grade a movie as in just you watched,
Flashiness,
you liked it, then
yes, there's another
the
one where
MCU is good cinema.
And then
but if you're grading it on a real a
real event,
does it cover anything?
Right.
Will it impact society at all? Then yes, the MCU fails tragically.
Then what about the Dark Knight?
That's the different because fuck.
But it's still a superhero movie.
Batman's not a superhero. He doesn't have supernatural abilities.
But he still has. It doesn't.
He's a hero.
What
He's not a superhero.
What is a superhero movie? Why are you bringing up? Yeah, it's a superhero movie.
We're talking about MCU not being cinema.
Yeah, but
DC,
necessarily he's calling all comic book movies.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
Did he
said
say
MCU.
all comic book movies?
He said MCU.
Look up the quote.
What is the quote?
He quoted, but there's like, he didn't. Some people quoted him, but he gave out a huge statement.
Okay, I'll read it to you. I pulled it up.
Go ahead.
Coppola called indictments of comic book movies despicable. That's Coppola.
That he said comic book movies, not necessarily MCU.
What was the quote?
No, that was the quote.
No, that's Coppola.
That's
not
Coppola,
Scorsese. You were talking about Scorsese saying that
he said
MCU
it.
is not cinema.
Coppola said it. We're still looking for Scorsese's quote.
I don't know. I think they both have the credibility to say these kinds of things, especially with the kind of movies that they've made and the success that they've had. Like I don't necessarily think every single individual MCU movie will be considered classics. Maybe pickets, maybe certain movies.
I'm not saying all, because I
think that's what he means by cinema. Movies that that are like considered timeless, I guess you could say. That anybody from
I will say
anybody
Dark Knight is pretty timeless.
Yes,
However,
I think
exactly.
so.
That is one comic book movie out of how many?
DC?
I think he had the privilege to say all comic book movies pretty much. Because one or maybe two outliers.
Spider-Man 2 was pretty good. I'd say that was
But Spider-Man 2 doesn't cover any hard topics.
Well, you just
It
have to
doesn't
see
any
it. Do you
hard
remember
themes. What?
Do you remember Spider-Man 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think Scorsese clarified it. I think Scorsese just said Marvel is not
I
cinema.
don't think he just said Marvel, because I'm pretty sure he said all.
Coppola gave like a long ass fucking quote or
Yeah,
statement.
fuck Coppola.
Have you seen The Godfather, bro?
Yes, I've seen The Godfather before. I've seen all their movies.
I was about to say, boy. Have you seen Apocalypse Now?
No, I have not seen that one, though.
That's a good movie. If you like trippy shit, that's a good movie.
Shutter Island's pretty good.
You have to watch Apocalypse Now. I don't know how to explain it to you. It's like one of the freakiest movies I've ever seen.
You know what would be cool if Scorsese.
Okay.
If you Scorsese did a Marvel movie.
I think that would be pretty badass.
I wonder what he said about the Joker movie. I think he would have liked it.
Well, it is based on one of his movies, so.
Yeah. But Coppola says he doesn't believe that MCU is art, and I think that's what he thinks cinema is. It's supposed to be art.
Here's what he said. I don't see them. I tried, but that's not cinema. Honestly, the closest I can think of them as well made as they are, he even called it as well as they made are with actors doing the best they can under the circumstances is theme parks. So that's what I said too. It isn't the cinema of human beings trying to convey emotional psychological experiences to another human being. He didn't necessarily say the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm trying to look at for that one though.
I think he got asked, what do you think about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or just the comic book movies in general?
He said Marvel movies are a new art form. That's what he said. This is recent, 2 days ago.
Then he just retracted his statement.
Yeah, he did. But I'm going to agree with his old statement. Because if I think of movies that impacted me, that make me think psychologically, I want to think of his kind of movies, not MCU. MCU, there's more stuff that's like, whoa, this is cool.
Okay. Basically, we're asking, is MCU or comic book movies good cinema? And our answer is depends on the creator.
Depends on the viewer.
Well, for me,
I could agree with that.
For me, I wouldn't say MCU is cinema, but I would say the Dark Knight trilogy is cinema.
As me, I would say they're not good cinema, but they're good movies.
I just think they're good cinema. They're not necessarily excellent movies as to where they'll be on the level of Scorsese's, but they're cinema to people that enjoy them.
Depends on the creator. I think they're bad cinema, but good movies.
So that's your opinion.
What do you think?
That they're good cinema.
What do you think?
Comic book movies, just in general, or just specifically MCU. Because I don't think comic book movies are bad cinema.
But they're good movies. Is that what you're trying to say?
It's just subjective.
It varies.
It varies on the movie.
My conclusion is, I have no conclusion. I don't think comic book movies are bad cinema, but I don't think MCU is bad cinema. I just don't think it's cinema at all. All right, guys, that's it for the Sipping Soda Podcast. Follow us on Instagram at Sipping Soda Podcast. Follow us on Twitter at Sipping_soda. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Sipping Soda Podcast. And email us at sippingsodapodcast@gmail.com with questions or suggestions that you may have. Thank you.
Sip on.